Hi, welcome to Alegria Retreats. In this video we are going to explain you our process and our approach when it comes to working with psilocybin. We offer group and private retreats, and in this video we are going to focus a bit more on the process of a private retreat. Whether or not you choose to work with us, we hope to provide you value and clarity for this journey.
Over the years, we have supported over 300 people on their psychedelic journeys. We run retreats in the Netherlands and in Mexico with qualified psychedelic facilitators, with medical doctors and psychotherapists to create the most safe and professional environment for this experience. So, who is this for? This can be for people that are looking to expand their consciousness. This can be for people that have been doing a lot of psychotherapy, that have been doing a lot of coaching, and they're feeling like they're hitting a wall in their inner process, that want to try an alternative solution. This can be for people that are in an important transition in their life, at a crossroads, and they're feeling like they need some clarity for the next steps. They want to get some new perspectives on how to move forward in their life. This can be for entrepreneurs that are high achievers, that put a lot of work and focus into the business, but know they need to take a step back and look inside of what's really going on within them. And this can be for people that are looking for a transcendental experience, people that want to do some deep inner emotional healing.
At Alegria, we guide people through deep transformational journeys using a heart-centered and science-based approach. We blend the wisdom and knowledge of indigenous traditions with modern therapeutic and self-improvement methods. Our process always has three parts: the preparation, the journey, and the integration. The preparation includes a screening, your preparation calls, a diet, and exercises like journaling, meditation, and breath work. In this phase, you're going to build a connection and trust with your guide and already learn how to approach this whole journey with the right mindset. Maybe you already heard about set and setting, and this is your set.
Let's talk about the day of the experience. Now, after you have done your preparation, it's time for your journey. And when we talk about the private session, it's usually in an Airbnb. So we always recommend places where we know this is a safe environment to have the experience. And the retreat itself can go from 1 to 5 days. To make it very simple, we just talk about the one-day version of things, okay? So in that version, your guide will arrive on the day of the session. You can also do that, but we recommend you arrive the day before, and then you have no travel stress, yeah? Then you get settled into the place, your guide arrives on the day of the session, and the first thing is checking in with you, how you're feeling on that day, how is your emotional state before the journey. The guide will talk to you about some guidelines for the process and maybe some little rules or some things that are valuable for you to know right before the experience. And then your facilitator will prepare the space. We always like to create a beautiful, warm environment, so we bring a lot of things, bring blankets and candles and things to just decorate the environment and make you feel comfortable, make you feel at home. That's the most important. We always welcome your suggestions on how you like the space to be, because people have different preferences, and whatever makes you feel comfortable and feel secure is the most important, right? So after this is all set, you can start with your journey and you can start with your dose. And now is the important question: what determines the dosage of your experience? It's a few things. The first one is, what's your prior experience? Have you done psychedelics before, or is this your first time? Another thing is, what's your sensitivity to substances in general? What's your sensitivity to medication? And to me, the most important is, what's your intention? Why are you having this journey? Why are you having this experience? This will really determine what type of dosage you should go for. And we oriented towards the clinical trials, which is always around 25 to 35 milligrams of psilocybin. So for us, this is usually a starting dose, and where we know this is a therapeutic dose for most people. Yeah, and so this is a therapeutic process, and when you go too low, you kind of still have too much control, and you can be too much in your head. And when you go too high, you can be very overwhelmed. So we like to work with a gradual intake protocol, where you can have 2 and even up to 3 doses in one session. And what we like to do the most is to split it into 2 sessions and have even 3 to 5 doses, where you can really go into the deep end of the experience, but in a very safe way, where you get more and more accustomed to the effect and build that readiness and build that trust together with your guide over multiple sessions. So this can be in one retreat, or this can be in multiple retreats. But coming back to the one-day version of things, is you have your first dose, and the guide will maybe ask you 1 or 1.5 hours in if you want to have a second dose. And that's usually the moment or the point where you're heading towards the peak of the experience. Most experiences have an onset, a peak, and a come down. And your guide will always be there with you. Most people are on their mattress with an eye mask, and will be there when is needed or not. You know, it's from session to session and person to person very different, and all the things regarding touch and how much activity from the guide will be discussed before the session, so everything is set. And yeah, when you're coming down, when you feel your back, when the guide feels your back, everything feels good and safe, then you will conclude the session, and your guide will pack up and leave. And if this was the one-day retreat, then you're going to continue to the integration, or the guide comes back for the second session. And we always recommend that you stay at least 1 day more in the venue, and that you have the second day for integration and for recharging your batteries, and just taking time to write down the experience, taking time to just sit with yourself after this experience, and not going right into travel mode again, right into the work mode again. You know, people that do that, they usually regret doing that. Sometimes you cannot see the value of that before, so that's why I'm telling you now, if you can create that 1 day before the session and 1 day after, and kind of, you know, have this little cocoon of the experience, then you make the most out of it. Take your time for this, you know, take your time for preparation, for the experience and integration, and this is the people that always have the most benefits of this journey.
After the experience is where the big change can happen. In your integration, you're going to reflect about your journey with your guide. You're going to write down your key takeaways and your lessons of this journey. And we are going to give you valuable tools to make use of the neuroplastic state that your brain is in. So about 2 weeks after the experience, there's this critical window of change. And this is a really good time where you can change your thinking, your patterns, and your habits. So this is a general overview of our retreat experience. And of course, every person is different, every person is unique, and this is why we tailored this to you. So if you feel like you're ready for your next chapter, we would love to get to know you on a call and discuss every detail, answer your questions, and find out what's the best program for you. Check the link below or contact us through our website. See you soon.